Hello, everybody. Here is the playlist from the car show that I played at on Sunday. And we're going to make this part of the Tuesday DJ Gig Tip series. I'm a little behind, and I will throw some tips in this video so it counts. As always, this Tuesday DJ Gig Tips is brought to you by Vibo, the music planning app. Here's the tip right off the bat. A lot of people want to play 50s music and early 60s music at car shows by default. My tip is try something a little different. I'm thinking about the people who are at the show and when they might have bought their classic car. It may have been a secondhand car they bought in the 70s in high school. It usually is, actually. So that's who I play to. And I'm paying attention to them. I'm watching their responses, tapping their feet, bobbing their heads, thumbs up the songs, whatever, and playing off of that. There were all kinds of people at this car show, young, old, white, Latino, black, you name it, and everybody seemed to have a good time. I was asking people, how's the music? And they liked it. I'm not sharing this list with you today so you can take it verbatim and play it at your next car show, because chances are it won't work. I mean, this is more of a philosophy than anything else of the types of songs you could play at a car show if you wanted to, and to show you that it's not just about the American Graffiti soundtrack and doo-wop music, because that's something I tend to stay away from. In fact, there are very few songs from the 1950s in my playlist. There are a couple, but not many. And I think most of them may have been by request. But anyway, let's have a look. I was doing sound check. So for the first 3 or 4 songs, I wasn't playing to anybody but whoever was there for organizers. First song, and I just had to play it. I don't know why, it just felt right. Flirting with Disaster by Molly Hatchet. Second song, Little Feat, Dixie Chicken. Third song, Ram Jam, Black Betty. Commander Cody, Hot Rod Lincoln. Time of the Season, The Zombies. That might have been the first song that I played. And that song, I believe, if memory serves, is from 65. And typically, that's as low as I would go for music. I'd go like maybe the mid-60s up through maybe even the early 80s on most of the stuff. But you'll see it's a little different than what you're normally hearing at car shows. Guitar Town, Steve Earle. Do It Again, Steely Dan. Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. That was a request from somebody who was there as part of a car club, and I played it for them and the club. So that song was indeed a request, but it's a good song to play. Johnny Cash is good to play at car shows. It's relevant. Follow that up with Heart Barracuda. One of very few car-related songs that I played, and it's not really even about a car. There was a car called a Barracuda, and I don't even know if there were any Barracudas at the show. But this particular song was written about a person they were calling a Barracuda. But it says Barracuda in it, so people consider it a car song. But I think it's a great tune. I like Heart. The Wanderer, the Eddie Rabbitt version, which I think is probably from the early 80s. Maybe the 70s. Strawberry Alarm Clock with Incense and Peppermints. And Let Your Love Flow by the Bellamy Brothers. That's a country song. The Bellamy Brothers is a country act, but Let Your Love Flow was indeed a pop hit. And you don't hear it very often, so I threw it in the mix, and people really enjoyed it. I could visibly tell that people were enjoying the song. They were singing along to it and such. Sammy John's Chevy Van. Another car song, but I think it's just a good song, and it worked very well. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Fishing in the Dark. Kind of a country favorite. Lowrider, War, of course. Don't Worry Baby, Beach Boys. America with Ventura Highway. Followed it up with The Doors, Light My Fire. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young with Woodstock. Oyo Como Va, Santana. Just What I Needed, The Cars. Sweet Home Alabama, Leonard Skinner. One of the few 50 songs that I played, and it was my idea to play because I like the song, and I thought I'd throw a little bit of that American Graffiti flavor in there, but not focus on it for the whole show. Bill Haley in the comments, Rock Around the Clock. Get Back, The Beatles. Truckin', Grateful Dead. This show was put on by the Wisconsin Truck Takeover Enthusiasts. These are the folks who, during the pandemic, were doing truck parades in front of the little kids' houses for their birthdays when nobody could leave during quarantine. Really good group, and they were the ones who helped organize this show. So I was kind of thinking of them when I played that track. And it's not a bad Dead song. And I played the radio edit, not the concert live Dead thing that some of you may be familiar with. One of the thousands of those that are out there. Just the regular radio edit. One of these nights, Eagles. And by the way, it's Eagles, not the Eagles. It's Eagles. If you don't believe me, ask Don Henley. He'll tell you. No matter what Jay Brennan says, it's Eagles. Bachman Turner Overdrive, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. The Rolling Stones, Honky Tonk Woman. Foreigner, Cold as Ice. Bill Withers, Lovely Day. T-Rex, Bang a Gong, Get It On. Eddie Money, Baby Hold On. Jim Croce, Bad Leroy Brown, which got a visibly wonderful response. People were singing along to it and kind of dancing to it. It's nice to see that kind of stuff. People really get excited about a track you drop. Bad Company, Can't Get Enough. Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty, Stop Dragging My Heart Around. ZZ Top, LaGrange. King Harvest, Dancing in the Moonlight. Rascal Flatts, Life is a Highway. Here's why I played it. I saw some people with children. And I remember that was the big song in the first Cars movie, the Disney movie. And a lot of kids see that movie. They associate that song with the movie Cars. We're at a car show. I played it for the kids and they smiled. I could see several children who were kind of hopping up and down because they heard something that was familiar to them. So that's why I played the song. Heart, Magic Man. Just a cool song. It's like a cruising song in my opinion. That's the song that you cruise real slow down the boulevard to. I like that track. Eric Clapton, After Midnight. The Cars, Let's Go. Has nothing to do with cars. Just a cool song. Life in the Fast Lane. Again, Eagles. No just Eagles. The Doobie Brothers, China Grove. Smokey Robinson, Cruisin'. Chuck Berry, No Particular Place to Go. It's a 50s song I picked just to mix it up a little bit, and it does have to do with riding along in my automobile. It's a typical car show song, but I did play a couple of those. Was not a request, I just played it. And they liked it. This was a request, though. Beach Boys with 409. I followed that up with The Monkees, I'm a Believer. The Beatles, Drive My Car. I picked that one, car song. John Mellencamp, or John Cougar, actually. Hurt So Good. And it's John Cougar. The album American Fool's credited as John Cougar. So Hurt So Good is a John Cougar song, as is Jack and Diane. I know that's technical, but it's true. Toto, Hold the Line. Dragging the Line, Tommy James. Say You Love Me, Fleetwood Mac. Hold On Loosely, 38 Special. Frankie Valli in Grease. Not a 50s song, but about 50s culture, I guess, kind of, sort of. It's a good tune. Very good, produced it and wrote it. Great tune. Let's see. Oh. Drift Away, Dobie Gray. That's a cool song. Crocodile Rock, Elton John. John Denver, Take Me Home, Country Roads. It's a fun family song to play. Boston, More Than a Feeling. The Beach Boys, Fun, Fun, Fun. I saw T-Bird, I couldn't resist. Bruce Springsteen, Hungry Heart. That's my go-to Springsteen song. I like Hungry Heart. You don't hear it all the time. And I don't know, for some reason in my brain I'm thinking it's a biker song, but it's not really. It's just a tune. It's a good tune. But there were some bikes there. It inspired me to play Hungry Heart because it makes me think of motorcycles or a biker club for some reason. And I don't know why. It just does. Bob Welch, Ebony Eyes. It's just a cool song, and people don't hear it all the time, and they did enjoy hearing it. A lot of people are coming up and saying things like, wow, this is the music from my childhood. I love this. It's fun. The Doobie Brothers, Rockin' Down the Highway. Johnny Cash, One Piece at a Time. I picked that one. It's a fun song. If you don't know it, check it out. Johnny Cash, One Piece at a Time. Very appropriate for a car show, by the way. We Will Rock You, Queen. Big crowd favorite. They dug that. And followed that up with Born to Be Wild, Steppenwolf. Layla, Derek and the Dominoes. Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen. Felt right. Just played it. Turn the Page, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. That was a request. I normally wouldn't play anything that down-tempo at an event where I want to keep things relatively up-tempo because, well, I want to keep things up-tempo. But yeah, somebody requested it, so I played it. This Is It, Kenny Loggins. Vehicle, Eyes of March. Steelers Wheels, Stuck in the Middle with You. Grand Funk Railroad, Some Kind of Wonderful. Pablo Cruz, Love Will Find a Way. Golden Years, David Bowie. I wanted to play a Bowie song and I couldn't figure out which one to play, so I did Golden Years. It's a cool song, it's up-tempo. What's Your Name, Leonard Skinner. Slow Ride, Foghat. All Right Now, Free. Rich Girl, Hall & Oates. Probably the only song that I played with a questionable lyric in it. But they played it on the radio. The FCC's okay with it. So was I. Life's Been Good, Joe Walsh. Radar Love, Golden Earring. Black Magic Woman, Santana. What a Fool Believes, Doobie Brothers. This was a request. I would not have played it unless it was requested. Mustang Sally. I did the Commitments version. It was the Wilson Pickett version. I don't know. It's mid-heavy and very dated, and nobody seems to mind the Commitments version. I think it's actually a better song, better sounding song, so I played that one. Follow that up with Redbone, Come and Get Your Love. I can't tell you how many people were walking around lip-syncing and dancing to that song when I played it. It was really cool. And it was about the time where people were starting to file in for the actual festival that was going to kick off at noon. The car show was pre-festival, and it's supposed to end at like 1, so overlap by an hour, but all the carnival rides and things were going to kick off at noon, so families were starting to come in. I changed my playlist a little bit for them, and they enjoyed it walking through. And you know what I did here? I went Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 soundtrack just for fun. I thought people may recognize it, and people absolutely loved it. Electric Light Orchestra, Mr. Blue Sky. Brandy, Looking Glass. Come a Little Bit Closer, Jay and the Americans. Freeway of Love, Aretha Franklin. More families coming in. And the last song I played was, it's Aliota, Hayes, Jeremiah with Lakeshore Drive. Now, I know that song from the Guardians of the Galaxy film. I may have heard it a couple times. It's a Chicago band, and it was kind of regional. But it's a good song. And there were people there who weren't familiar with the movie and were high-fiving me for playing it because they hadn't heard it in so long. And they were making references to the song. Oh my gosh, you know the song? Well, yeah, it's a good song. Once again, that was my last song. It's Lakeshore Drive, and the act is Aliota, Haynes, Jeremiah. So, if you don't know the track, look it up. It's kind of a cool tune. And it's, if you live in Chicago or have been to Chicago and done Lakeshore Drive, you'll hear things in the song that are familiar to you. Starts up on Hollywood, water on your drive-in site. It's a good tune. So anyway, a little different than the American Graffiti soundtrack. Mostly 70s music. Some 60s. A couple of 80s. But not typical. And if you want to stand out, do something different. That's exactly what I did. And I stood out. And it was a good, successful show. And I'm willing to bet we'll be there next year too. And I didn't give it away. This was not a cheapie. I gave him a break, but not that much of a break. I gave him 20% off my regular price, which still puts money in my pocket. So anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this playlist and my little tips I threw in here and there. Well, see you soon. Take care. Practice and enjoy.